Hey, this is Rosa Rubio Giotto from RCG Creations. How you doing? Doing a video today, a little bit different than I have been doing for the last few months. We're going to be doing some crafting. Going to be making Valentine's is coming up. Love the holiday. And I'm going to be making a slimline card. Now let me start off with the directions on a slimline card for those who may or may not know. You can go ahead and get a die and get some slimline dies and cut them out yourself, or you can get like an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. Oop. Okay, good. Well, yeah, that's in there. Focus. Okay, and then you cut it on the 11-inch side, and it becomes 7 by 8.5, which is this. Then you score it at 3.5. So that becomes your card, and then you cut it down so it becomes a 3.5 by 8.5 card. Okay, and then this is the finished card. So you went from the 8.5 by 11. Oop, I'm not in focus there. Okay, and then you went to this, and then you scored at 8.5. And you got this. Okay, so that's the beginning to the end. Now I do have only one set of dies, slimline dies, and this is the die. This doesn't cut the whole card out. It just cuts pieces, like if you wanted to do an actual border over the whole thing. Do a layer, and then it cuts these, and then it cuts out, whoops. I already did some of the stuff because I'm trying to stay in my 15-minute time frame so I can have a quick video. And then it comes with this little border and then this other little border die. Okay, let me get up close so you can see that one. Let me get that glare out of the way. There you go. And then you see that one. Isn't that pretty? So, but these are just the accent pieces for your slimline cards. Okay, and then this is from Coconut Crafts. This is who makes it, and I just put little notes on here. It's a slimline die, which is 3 by 5 by 8 by 5. Base is 4 by 9 1/4, and you can do a mini slimline die, which is 3 1/4 by 6 1/4 if you wanted to do a mini. So I just write little notes for myself, and then I just write little notes on, and let me just show you on tips for future use. And somebody may want to screenshot that. And if you like, let me know in the comments. I'll put it in the description box. But let me know if you like more tips like this. And I'll add those to the description box. Or I'll probably just do it as a pop-up right there on when I'm talking on the video. It just depends on how much time I have to edit what I do and don't do as far as pop-ups on the video. But anyway, let's get to making the card. So I don't normally like to go with the traditional stuff. I always like to do stuff that's kind of off a little bit. Okay, I'm working with my laser mat, which I love. It stays here all the time, never goes anywhere. So here's my card. I did it at pink. I didn't do the traditional red and white. And I like the purple, so I went ahead and used that one die. And let me just show you. I went ahead and got this die out. And I cut the piece of purple cardstock. And I went ahead and just put some double adhesive. I start all the way at the very edge on the border. And you see how the little holes are here? But because of the thickness of the cardstock, it's not going to go through. Oop, let me get my readers on because I need readers so I can see up close. Okay, so now I'm just going to line this up. And I'm going to try to get it as close to the center as possible. Oh, I got a little piece of adhesive right here. You always, when you're working with your ATG gun, this is what I'm using, my ATG gun. You always want to get the little stragglers of glue so you doesn't get on anything else on your project. And then I'm just clean this out. I'm just going to try to line this up and give myself an equal amount of border on top and bottom. And then I'm going to get my bone folder. And I'm going to lay this flat. That's just going to help to keep it flat so it doesn't buckle, because this is going to go in the postal mail. And if you do feel any adhesive on here, do yourself a favor get your embossing powder. I like to use this one because it's got the little brush. And then you just pat a little bit on that adhesive part, and that takes away the stickiness from getting on any of your other projects, or possibly the envelope when it goes to your mail. You just pat it down and it releases the embossing. I think this smells like it's baby powder, and this is from EK Tools, but I could be wrong. I'm not exactly for sure. And then if you feel it to see if you have any little scragglers anywhere on here, and then redo it again. But that pretty much takes care of all that, and that takes care of your adhesive for you. And then what I did here is I got samples of everything so you can see what the little thing. Here is my 8.5 by 11. I got this at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, I forget. And then you know how they had the special buy 4 sheets for a certain price, or 3, whatever. I always get like 4 or 5. I get like an even amount, like 6 or 4, depending on whatever the special is. Because I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I didn't know if I'm going to use it for the whole thing on a card or what. But what I did is I fussy cut. So I fussy cutted it out. Okay. You see that? And then I'm just going to attach it. And because this is already going to be layered, I'm not going to do the double-sided foam on here. I'm just going to use my ATG gun. And I'm just going to add my adhesive with that. And I don't need to do the whole thing. I just need to get bits and pieces because I just need to get the main gist of the card. This actually, it's not a card. This one is what you would call a die cut. And I could use my wet adhesive, but because this is paper, not cardstock, I don't want it to get too bubbly, because if it gets too wet, it buckles up on you because it's thin paper. Okay, and you know what I was talking a while ago about little scragglers? You see those little scragglers right there? Let me see if you can see that. See that little scraggler there? Right here, I'm just going to use my finger and push it down toward the back of the card, because I don't need the little scraggler sticking on anything. And here's a little bit of a one. I got a little too close to the edge, but you know what happens to everybody. And I'm just pushing it back. Here's another little scraggler right here in my adhesive, and then here's another one on this end. I like to get really close to the border just because I want to make sure that the entire edge, because you don't know how many times the recipient's going to open and play, open and close it. So I always like to get to as close to the back, to the edge as possible. Now I'm just going to line this up toward the center. You can put it any way you want to, because you know what? It's your imagination. Just kind of consider who you're giving the card to, of how you think they would react to it. And then there's that part. But you see how this part's got that little banner? I mean, this one does not, because I wanted this to stay in here. I could have cut this whole thing off, but I wanted to stay there. But I don't like the way it's that rounded edge. So I'm going to get my tweezers. And because I have some red in here, and this is purple and pink, I'm just going to put a heart. I already had these pre-cut from another project, and I just save all my little paper cuts, like die cuts like this, in a little case that I have. And I save them in there till they get used up. So I'm just going to use this to cover that up. So you could use your wet glue. I could use some of the ATG. But because this is such a small project, I'm just using my glue pen. You know, I'm not going to worry too much about it. And this is cardstock. This is not paper. Just be careful when you're using your glue pen. Close it right away, because it does dry up pretty fast. So just remember to always don't leave it sitting there with your top off of it. And then I'm just going to cover that up like I did it on purpose, and it was not a mistake. And then that kind of offsets the little cupcake. Okay. And then now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple more little hearts. I'm going to try not to put any big, thick embellishments on it, just because I don't want to have a lot of height and weight, because this is going to the postal mail. and I would like to have just a regular postage for Slimline. And I think a Slimline card, yeah, because it's a number 10 envelope, it's just a regular postage stamp. Just one postage stamp. So I'm going to offset some of my little hearts. And I'm just going to glue this on here. Actually don't need that. This little heart's big enough that I can do this with it. I'm just going to offset it somewhere, wherever it is, wherever it lands. And let me give me some white. And then do the white one. Okay, whoops. So go to my tips of the heart. And let's just offset this. Let's just do it right here. Okay. So that's offset there. That one's there. Get this out of the way. And I think I'm done with this card. I'm not going to do anything more. Oh, okay. So that's the front of the little card. Kind of cute and simple. Now we're going to do the inside of the card. And what I did is I have this. This doesn't have a name. It's a gnome. I bought it from a reseller. It's just a bunch of hearts. I don't know the name of it or anything. I couldn't even tell you where I bought it from because it didn't have any packaging with it. And I cut out, and this is this white shiny paper. Cardstock. It's actually cardstock. But it's shiny. I'm wondering if you can see the glare in there. Can you hope you can see that glare? Okay. But I did that in white. And I'm going to offset this. And then I'm going to do my little message stamp. And this is a block. Who makes this? Happy Valentine's Day. Turpentine Illustrations. Okay, and then there's their information. I really don't know if they're still selling, because I couldn't tell you how old this stamp is, because I've been a stamper for over 30 plus years, so I don't know. Then I'm going to use my VersaFine ink. And then let me stamp. I'm going to stamp it first before I put down my hearts. Okay, so that's a good lineup. And I'm going to put right in here. Make sure that I'm even. Okay, making sure that you can see them. Make sure I'm in focus here. Well, not focus. I'll make sure I'm in frame. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I just count to 10 typically when I do a wood block. Oh, I was off a little bit. But that's okay because I did a wood block. I didn't use my stamping platform. So it is what it is. You know. Can't do anything about it. Okay, but what is this other little things? Oh, these are little hearts. Okay, cute. I can always get my little marker, and I think I'll do that. So now we're going to attach this. And let me get my scrap paper. Because the extra pieces, like you cut off from here, this can be your scrap paper. So that way you don't have to worry about what you have and what you don't have. And then I'm just going to use my glue stick. And I'm not going to be worrying about if I get it over every bit of it or not. I just want the main gist of it where it's going to stick so it doesn't pop out. Okay, and you do have to work kind of fast with this because the little dots can tend to dry. So when I'm doing a big project, I end up doing just part of it, adhering part of it only, and then I do the other part. But work kind of fast. And again, like I said, you don't have to do every single bit. You just want the main gist of it. Okay, get this out of the way. And then I'm just going to line that up. And you see that little boo-boo that I just made there? It happens. Okay. Now, close this up before it dries up on me. You can actually leave it on there for a little while, but I just don't like to keep it for too long. So I'm going to put something heavy on that just to give it some weight. And this is just stuff that I have sitting here on my desk. Wait a few seconds on that. Now, what I'm going to do is I went ahead and cut out a purple one of the exact same thing of the white, but I did purple. I'm going to save this. Don't throw this away. I'm going to save it. But I'm going to use the purple hearts to insert, so that way the front of the card is similar to the back. The front of the card, the inside of the card is similar to the back. And these will stick. You just have to you have to hold it down. And usually what I do on stuff like this when it's something so delicate is I go ahead and finish the project, then I close it down, then I put something heavy on top of it. Okay? But what I'm going to do for this right here is I'm going to use my eraser. Where's my eraser? There it is. And I'm going to erase part of this. And you just got to be easy. You know, if you have that mono eraser, that'll work. I do have it, but it's in a travel bag. And I haven't moved it back where it belongs. But then you know what you're going to do? When you mess up, you just cover it up. And let me put these back over here out of the way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set ever so off some of these hearts. I'm not going to do them all on all. You just kind of line them up to see where they fit. Like that one fits there. Because you can tell by the shape of the heart of where it's going to go and where it's going to fit. But if you were really smart, which I was not, you would go ahead and leave it lined in there instead of taking them all out when you're doing this. But I'm only going to be doing a few of these hearts. I'm not going to be doing them all. So let me see if this one fits there. Nope, that one doesn't fit there. And I don't have any more nails because I trimmed my nails because they were bugging me. So I have my little... So that's what's good about your little tools. Use your little tools to help your projects. Help you get along with... Okay, that does not fit there either. I'm going to find this one. There we go. Found it. Now let's do a little heart. Let's see where... Okay, nope. Okay, I think I found that one. Yep, found that one. Now let's just do one little one over here somewhere. Let's see where this one goes. Yep, that one goes there. And let's do another little one. Let's see, that goes right here. Yep. You could do all of it if you wanted to, but I'm not, because I want to offset the white so it looks like the front of the card. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix that in just a second. And I think I'm getting close to my 50. Yeah, I'm at 18 minutes, so I'm way past my 15-minute time frame that I promised. I promised myself to stick, but it's not going to happen. You know, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. You know, but I really want to do one over here. Oh, come on. Okay, let's see if that'll work. Yay! That one does. Okay, for me, that's good enough. Now, I'm just going to... Oh, I got to use my little sticker pen. I have one of those stick pens. Here it is. It's like a jewel picker type of thing. Is what they call it. And this one, yeah, this is called a jewel picker. It's got two ends, small one and a big one. I don't need the big one because I'm doing small stuff. And then all you do is pick up the item. Whoops. Well, yeah. There you go. And then you give yourself a little glue wherever you're going to do it. Then you put it back in. And then if you do this too often or you get too much stuff, you just re-wet this, run it under running water. Try not to touch it too much. Not with your fingers, because the oil of your fingers. Okay. This is not coming out very easily. Okay. So I'm just going to get my glue there. And this is taking too long in between here. Okay. So now you see what I'm doing. And for the sake of the video, we're just going to pretend that it's all done, but I'll do that off camera. Now you get yourself your extra fine marker, Sharpie, pen, marker, whatever it is that you have. And I know I have one. I'm just going to find it. Oh, you know what? I think I moved it to another area, but I'm going to show you. You know what? I'm going to pause and I'll be right back because I'm taking too long. I'll be right back and I'm going to show you, but I'm going to show you before when I'm going to stop. Okay, we're back. And the wider tip actually works a lot better, and I'm going to show you. I'm just going to pick up, see there it is, I'm just picking it up. And I'm putting my glue adhesive, and I'm just using my glue stick. And then I put it right back where it was. There it is. I'm going to do one more. Oh, I'm doing the wrong one. I was putting glue on top of that instead of my jewel picker. Okay. Now let's put that back there. Oh, that glue that I put on the top of that heart. You know what? But that's okay. Let me get my... Always clean that up because you don't want to get any dust or stuff on that thing. I'm just going to put some of my embossing powder right on top, and that's going to soak up that adhesive, and it won't be sticky anymore. See? No longer sticky. Now these little ends, like here, that did not stick down, just tap a little bit of adhesive on there, and then tap it down, and then there you go. And so any of these little loose ones like this, that's an easy way to fix it without having to do a whole bunch of extra work on it. And see how they just stick right back down? And it was just a few. And that happens. But anyway, I got my CalArt Fine Liner black markers. And these are a set. I think I got this at one of the department stores. One of the box stores. Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Joann's. I forget what. But I like them because they're extra fine line. And we're gonna correct my little failure to put even pressure when I was stamping. That's the one thing about when you're working with wood stamps, is it has to be even pressure. Okay, and then depending on your type of cardstock, some of your ink will bleed. So you have to be careful with that. But there is the finished hearts. See how they're white? They're white shiny. I hope you can see that. And then the purple just in here. And then there's where I fixed my mistake there. But because I want a little bit of color, because remember we have red and white, I am going to get my little red hearts that I had used in the front to put in here, and that's going to cover up these little mistakes that we make. Because these hearts are all over the place, this is going to be all over the place too. So I'm going to get me some white ones. Let's just do a little one right here. You just put it wherever it is that you want. Okay. And let's just do another little red one. Oh, I'm doing it again. Picking it up with the... you know what, it happens. So let's offset this one right here. Okay, there's not enough glue on that, I could tell. Let's go back. Get the right tool. Okay, that's what happens when I'm trying to rush, and I shouldn't be rushing. When you're making a project that you care for, try not to rush, if possible. Just because you don't, that's when mistakes usually happen. Okay, so now I'm going to get my embossing powder, because I'm going to make sure that it soaks up that adhesive. Because once that adhesive dries, then because it's powder, just fluff it out like that a little bit. Okay. Now I went ahead and I've got some gel pens. These were actually a birthday gift from my sister. These are neon color gel pens. But let's do some fun stuff with it, just to give some color to the project. And let's here's a red. Let's just see, and I'm going to, because I don't know what this is going to look like, I'm going to put this on my sample. This is my scratch paper. Okay, so it's kind of a pinky color, but it kind of just matched to that red heart. That's not really red, 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 red. So let's just ink this one up with the gel pen. And I'm going to go ahead and do the inside of each of the letters with the gel, just so they stand out just a little bit, not a whole lot. And I'm not going to do everything, I'm just going to do the word Valentine. But of course you can do whatever it is you want. Do the whole thing if you like. Do all of it. Do different colors. I just kind of want to accent the word Valentine. And because my fine liner was still extra fine compared to the original stamp, it's kind of offset just a little bit, but that's okay. And then I'm going to do my little heart. And then I'm going to do this little heart. And I think my project is now complete. So, here is my Slimline card. There's the front of it. See that? And then there's the inside. I fixed up my mistake. Oop. Okay, that was just fuzz. Thank goodness. I was going to say, no, don't tell me I messed it up again. Okay, I did right there. Let me get my black marker. Because the little stamp had these little hearts with these little black dots here. So let's just go ahead and give ourselves another one right here. And then do another one here. And another one there. And no one will ever know that we messed up. There you go. See? One thing about paper crafting is if you mess up, that's okay. You can always fix it with something. So now I can use any one of my pre-made envelopes that I already made and stick it in there, and it's ready to be mailed. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit comment, like, and share. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And don't forget to ring the bell so that way you can won't miss one of my next videos. Well, you take care now. You have a great day. Bye-bye.